Hello lovely. In this video I am talking about the overwhelm that some of us experience around health decisions. I know for myself 13 years ago when I was given the diagnosis of Crohn's in hospital, it came with a whole bunch of stories in my mind and wondering what to do next. I knew that I didn't want to take their story and their ideas as gospel. I didn't want to live the life that they said I would live, and I didn't want to be on the medication that they said I would be on. So in doing that, I had to search for other options, and back then Google wasn't what it was now, and in some ways that wasn't a bad thing because I couldn't spend hours and hours on Google. So instead I just sought out opinions from natural health practitioners, and yes, I did do the medication because at that time that is what I needed for my body to get stronger, and then I chose other ways. And then in 2012, when this fistula formed and I had that journey to go down, Google was more like what it is today, because that wasn't too long ago, and the overwhelm that came with it, and all the questions of, am I going to have this forever? What do I do next? Is my only option these really heavy immune suppressant drugs? Am I going to end up having multiple surgeries that fail, like I had read on forums? Will these natural options that I'm seeking out work? What about spending all this money? Like, is it going to get me anywhere? How do I trust doctors, surgeons, natural health practitioners? There's so much around money and trust and fear. And honestly, sometimes it can be so overwhelming. And I spend hours and hours and hours on the internet searching and just in my head wondering as well. And at some point through my internal work and my inner exploring, I realized that I needed to slow down. And when my brain went towards this overwhelm and the fear mode and where to next and deliberating, in those moments, if I could slow myself down, it made all the difference, because there are just so many options out there, which is a beautiful thing. Like, you know, as we often say, it's like a first world problem, and we are so lucky to have all these options out there, but at the same time it can just feel so overwhelming when you're on the other side and you're looking down the barrel of all these options and you just don't know where to next. And it was in that space of slowing down that I realized sometimes you need to stop. And even though stopping is the scariest thing, because I felt like when I stopped, I wouldn't be moving forward and I wouldn't be progressing and getting any better. But I realized that actually that was the key. I needed to just stop and tune out of all of that and just breathe and just feel into my body. And the more I could feel into my body and the more I could tune into my inner wisdom, which I did by slowing down and by regularly tuning in and feeling into my body, like feeling what was in my body, feeling the emotions, feeling the reactions, feeling whether my gut clenched over something or whether I felt lighter and more open about a prospect. That is what in the long run guided me the most powerfully and the most strongly in making my health decisions and finding the ones that served me the best. And they won't serve you the best, the ones that I did, and some of them might, but my journey is my journey and your journey is your journey. And when we can really get clear that each journey is so different and that it's wonderful sometimes to have people's opinions, but in the long run we've got to tune in here, into our heart and into our stomach. That's where I feel it, is in my gut. And to really just feel, is this making me feel really contracted? This idea of going to the naturopath to get a specific diet regime? Or is it making me feel like relaxed and expansive, like, yeah, this feels good? And then if it feels good, you go, and then you reassess. Did I gel with that person? Does this feel right for my body, what they've suggested? I really found it very hard not to give my power away when I was making all these health decisions and feeling overwhelmed, because I felt like if someone said something, it was gospel and I had to listen to them, otherwise I was never going to heal. And when you can come into that space of taking the power back and being like, they are human, this is just a suggestion, this is their opinion, I need to check in with my body. Is this what is best for me? Is this going to serve my body at this time? And you know, we're human, we're not always going to get it right, but the more that you can practice that, and the more that I practiced that, the clearer I became and the easier decisions became. I would still hit the overwhelm button, but it was for very short stages of time. And yes, I would still dive into Google at those times, but it became less and less frequent as I took my power back into my body to really feel what was right for me at the time. So I really hope that these words can give you some inspiration and a sense of calm and clarity that you too can do this. And I will be recording an EFT video just to help shift some of those emotions that we feel when we are in the overwhelm of making health decisions and trying to figure out what is right for us. And remember that inside you, your body knows what's best for you. And you have that power within you to feel into what fits you best at the time. And I trust you and know that you are amazing because you are amazing. And good luck on your health journey. Much love.